Yeah, this is Bang Bang Rahul. In the 90s, so much happened to me in the 90s, yeah. I was looking after my mate's club in Acton, Central Park, where I had Jefferson King, Shadow from Gladiators. Yeah, big guy, glasses, massive, big shoulders, huge, massive. And when we had that trouble in there, upstairs, all the Chelsea headhunters and all that, and my mate Gary Jakeman, Gary Francis were mad. When I think about when you go back to them sort of times, Gary Francis, yeah, my pal, he'd been stabbed. I only got the Fuller's P, yeah, the other day. He was stabbed 27 times. Stabbed 27 times. Pierced his lung, punches everything, done this, done that, done his arms, his hands, fingers, everything. They stabbed him everywhere, yeah? And he was so lucky to live that he lived. He's a strong guy, you know what I mean? Like he owned a big bodybuilding club in Acton, I think it was no, where was it? Pope's Lane, yeah? Called G's Gym. Massive big gym, mate. Fantastic weights and everything, yeah? Anyway, when he was down my mate's club, Central Park, and all them headhunters come in. You had Matty, you had Howard, you had Matty Howard. He was one of them. Loads in there, yeah. And it kicked off, yeah. And you had McCoy, I think you had Billy McCoy, Tommy McCoy. I'm not quite sure they were there. A lot of the McCoys there. I think Barney was there. Barney McCoy was there too. There was a lot of some McCoys that was there. As I said, Matty was Matty Howard. But when I go back really, when I think about it, in the 90s really, and more or less the 90s really. But when I go back to them times, you had the McCoys, five brothers, the McCoys. You even Matty Howard. My mate, Alec Jones. You had Craig, the black belt judo guy, Craig. Very, very dangerous man, mate, him. And you had me, you had all the lot from South Acton, from proper people. And, and all the market lot from West London. As far as I was concerned, yeah, West London was one of the hardest places in the map as such. South East London, North London, all around there, yeah. Personally, I think Acton was the hardest place around. There wasn't anybody a lot harder than. Okay, you had places like Canish Town and all that. You had Billy Williams, Bill the Bomb, dangerous man. Pickering, not Pickering. Sorry, who was the other one? You had, some good proper fighters over there, over your way, over North London, South East London. But for me, I thought West London was the tops, was the one, yeah, because West London was all fighters, I mean, North London was all fraudsters, gangsters as such. South East London was all armed robbers, South East London, but West London was just a fighting place. Everybody in West London used to be fighters. And that's all they knew, fighting all the time. Look at Jimmy Wilkinson, you know what I mean? Wilkinson, all that lot over at Ealing Broadway, Ealing, all in that manner. There's some proper hard people, mate. Wilkinson, the Wembley mob, all that little firm there. Even Bertie Smalls. I mean, Bertie Smalls can have a right fight. You know what I mean? Mickey Green. There was a lot of bad people in West London, you know what I mean? John Hanlon, Barry Murphy. I'm on about proper fighters that all they want to do is fight. That was what about West London was. West London's always been a fighting place. Freddie, Freddie Rondell. You've got the Rondells, you've got my mate's dad, Alec Jones's dad, fighting man, all proper fighting people. And could really have it. All the ones down the market, Cracknell, Ginger Carlisle, the Welleses, the Willses, fucking hell else, Dirk Pierce, Martin Worsfold. There there was people down the two what was it two Aikido fellas, Kenny Barber, Kenny Griffiths, two top Dan fighters. There's more fighters in West London than anything. I mean, I remember going down to Covent Garden with Colin Cracknell on the lorry delivering potatoes to Covent Garden, and they were petrified of Colin Cracknell. West London, another West London boy, Colin, you know what I mean? And Colin now, he's 76, 77. He still trains 4 times a week. He trains 4 times a week. I'm going to have a laugh at him. I don't know if he wants a rematch, me and him have a fight again. He's 76, 77. I'm around them areas, you know what I mean? Be good, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? That'd be terrific, me and him fighting. But he can fight, Colin Cracknell. Colin Cracknell's Colin Cracknell hit me on the chin in my own shows in Acton Town Hall and really hurt me, yeah? He really shook me up, my legs from my feet to my head. He shook me up. You know, he really gave me one, yeah? And because he done that, I wasn't going to let him take over my show. So I just picked him up and nutted him all around the place because it was my show and you can't really show me up. And when I went to, when I look at it, the McCoys, you have 5 or 6 brothers with the McCoys. And I only know, the ones I know is Dominic, Billy, Tommy, Barney, that's 4. There's another one, I think, Keith, his name is, I'm not quite sure. And there's a couple of 3 sisters. And so I think there's about 6 brothers, I'm not quite sure. And every one of those brothers can have it. They can all fight. And as a little firm, I don't know why, they never really stuck together as one big unit, yeah? But if it ever kicked off, then they would stick together as a unit. But I'm saying stick together as a unit to do things, yeah? You know, become West London as such. Because you had Alec Jones that was always wrapped around them. You had Craig that was always wrapped around them. You had me that was not really always wrapped around them because I was in Kingston. And I just come down to see them. And they was only a lot younger then, but they was a handful, mate. They was a handful. They was all big. I think they're all 20 stone now, mate. 22, 23 stone, the brothers. I think Dominic's in Spain. I don't know where Billy is. I don't know where Tommy is, but they're big people, big men, big hard men. You know what I mean? And they could really, really have it, you know. I think the governor of them all really, around that time, around that area, was Alec Jones. Definitely Alec Jones and Craig, Black Belt Craig, definitely them two were the governors around that area. I was in Kingston at that time, but West London was my area. I mean, I had the fights in West London, my own promotions in West London. Yeah, when I went to Lewisham and all that, you remember, you know, that. It takes it's like Danny Christie the other day. That's a little bit different to what I did, but to what even Danny Christie done. But he went to Tommy Tyson Fury's cousin, went there and sparred with him. You know, and fair play to him. He done what he done. He went right out of his area to go to Manchester to spar, which is fantastic. To go out your manor. Not only did he go out his manor, but he had a bit of aggravation around that area, so he didn't really care. He ain't bothered about that anyway. But good art, mate. You know what I mean? And it's the same as me. When I was in around that areas, I decided to go to what you call it, to not Bermondsey. It was Bermondsey really. Deptford, Catford, Woolwich, Lewisham, all around there in 1978. You know, end of 78, you know, and go there till I got nicked again and put away again, yeah. But to go there in the 70s to them sort of places, you know, the end of 70s, and them sort of places as a West Londoner, and to go there and fight them people, not even knowing who you're going to go to fight against. I didn't know who they were. I didn't care who they were. I just went there to fight, yeah. And to hear about Lenny McLean, to hear about Roy Shaw and them sort of people and the Columbos and what is his name? And there's loads, Lord Wolfram, and there's so many fighters at that time, over them areas, and I didn't know who was who. I didn't know what it was. I just went into the fight. I didn't care. I heard so much about Lenny. I heard so much about Roy Shaw, and then I get to spar with Roy Shaw. I get to spar with Lenny. You know, you feel, hold up, yeah, mate, this ain't so big over there. You know what I mean? And I used to see all the others, Colombo, fighting. I mean, I used to have loads of sparring matches with these people, spar all the time, and it become fights. In them days, different kept the fish. It ain't like fighting with professional fighters. It's street fight, you know, unlicensed fighting. It's a completely different thing, yeah. But I loved it, man. I loved it, but I loved where I come from. You know, I never forgot my roots. I mean, you've got people. There's a couple of guys now who come out of prisons or IPPs. One's my mate Fish. I mean, a lot of people think Fish is gay. He's no one. Let me tell you something about Fish, yeah? Fish is a very, very dangerous man, mate. And not only is he gay, but he can have it as well. Remember that the Crays, Reggie and Ronnie, were both gay. And they was very dangerous people. And then, I think it was Ronnie, he was a good pro, wasn't he? Or Reggie was a good professional fighter. You know, so, you know, don't knock Fish, because Fish can have it, mate. Fish can have it, you know, he can really have it. Don't underestimate Fish the way he talks, you know, and this, that and the other. I've noticed that Fish's channel, you know, he's getting no one looking at it no more, you know what I mean? But Fish is a proper character, and he puts his words together right, you know. I like Fish. I remember him years ago, mate. Proper dangerous Fish. He didn't care. He didn't care for no one. I seen him once in a shepherd's bush on a bike, on a motorbike, right heavy motor, 750, something, big heavy bike, yeah? Down like that, and his arse sticking up in the air with just a thong. All Fish had on was a thong. I think it was a red thong. Come on, gay as anything, but driving a bike, his arse in the air, no crash helmet, like his arse in the air with a thong on. I like Fish, mate. He don't care. He don't. In prison, when I was in prison with Fish, he didn't care about no one. He didn't care, mate. All we would do, Fish, regular Scott work is train. Running man, you know, everywhere he went, whatever prison he went, you see Fish in the exercise yard or out in the green, running. That's all he did. Run all the time and fight in trees and things like that. Yeah, that was his thing, mate. He's a fruitcake, but he can have a right fight. I love Fish. I love the way he is. John Lee Hanlon. Come on, mate. John Lee Hanlon, the bully. Everybody knows John Lee Hanlon, the bully, mate, from Ladbroke Grove, Notting Hill. Could have a right fight. There wasn't anybody, I don't think, that he never chinned. I mean, Alec Jones, my friend Alec Jones, I think it was Alex that took him to Scrubs Common and bashed him up. But, I mean, John Yann was a little bit older then, maybe. He was a bit too past it then, maybe. I don't know. But John Yannon, big respect to John Yannon, mate. Everybody was petrified of him, mate. What was he, 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", as tall as what he was wide. Could have a really, really good fight, and he could fight, mate. He used to knock people out, eyes are winking, no trouble. Hit him on it. You hit you on the chin, Johnny Allen, mate. He had arms about 20 inches thick, arms, right, and he could bang. You know, and Barry Murphy, another one, West London. All these lot of West Londoners, yeah, they can all march on. Barry Murphy could have it. I mean, even Paul McDermott, another one. Paul McDermott, he was a good fighter. There's a lot of fighters that I've missed out from West London, but I think West London was the place, mate. As I said, South East London, armed robbers, North London fraudsters, gangsters, but can't fight. They can't fight. I mean, one. I think Lenny was over there, maybe Lenny. I don't know many more. Maybe he was over that way, Canning Town. The bomb, build a bomb. There wasn't many more. Maybe 4 or 5. I can't remember a lot, but there's a lot of names that I've missed out, right? That come from West London that I ain't put on my map. Yeah, they can really fight. I mean, Yami B TV. He comes from West London. He'd know a lot more than what I know. You know, Yami B should, you know, he knows a lot more fighters maybe than I know because he lives in that area, Ladbroke Grove, Notting Hill, around there. I mean, Peter Marsh, Peter Peterson. There's 2 there could really have a fight. Really fight, mate. You know, they come from Ladbroke Grove. They're a little bit older than us, but they could really march on. Kit Carew, Silly Bevin, Bill Purdy. Who's the other? There's one there that fought Tommy Farr. I'll get his name as I go on, yeah. But all them old boys, they was the governors, mate. They could really fight from West London. They could really, really have it, mate. They was old boys, but the old school fighters, you know, like old school fighters. Tony Lawrence, the Richardsons, they all come from them manors, mate. All come from them manors. They're always around their manors, and they could all rabbit that little firm. They could all fight. I mean, look at it. Okay, the Crays could fight, mate. They were good boxers, you know, good boxers. Dangerous people, of course it was dangerous, you know what I mean? But you've got, I mean, come on, you've got, now, I'm on about my days then, you know. There wasn't many fighters over that way, as far as I could see. And I was, and I fought a lot of fighters out there, a lot of doormen out there. Loads of doormen I'd rouse with when I was unlicensed fighting. Loads and loads of doormen. Me and Jimmy would fight maybe two fights a month, maybe 3 fights a month. It was crazy. I wasn't having so many fights that I was on my heels. I was half punchy. I'm half punchy now, you know what I mean? But I was like on my heels then. I could really, you know, I mean, fucking hell, you're having 2 or 3 fights a month. And not on top of that, you haven't got time to go down the gym and spar around because you're having fights anyway, you know, so you just go down the gym to train. You know what I mean? And you go, I'll tell you what I found out about fighting in my times, yeah? Fighting in my times was completely different to what it is now. Now you've got the media, your mobile phones and all that, and now they all chat to each other, what they're going to do to each other, but it never kicks off, very rarely kicks off. Danny Christie I've got respect for because he says he's going to do something and he goes and does it. Fair play. There isn't many. Matt Legg, he said he's got a fight very soon. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but Matt Legg don't talk shit. If he's going to fight, he'll have a fight. But there ain't many out there. They're all talking about what they're going to do, what they're going to fight. Come on, please. I mean, some of these fights are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, come on. Ben Hatchett, I love Ben. He's got a great personality. The women love him, but he can't fight. He can't fight. They got him, because he's got a personality, yeah? He's got a terrific personality. Everybody loves him. Well, not everybody, but lots of people love him. He gets in the ring, you know, and he can't fight, but he's getting better. He must get better. You know, he's training regular. He must get better, but he's drinking too much. He's taking too many drugs. So he says that he's, you know, but listen, I want Ben to listen. It takes a lot of bottle, you know, to get into a ring. It takes a lot of bottle for someone to get in the ring because one wrong punch can kill you. And you get in the ring, mate, and that one punch can kill you. So you've got to be careful. Now they're doing this fighting. I think, especially over what is it? I think over in Turkey. Is it Turkey? I'm not quite sure. Is it? What is it? Whereabouts is this fight now? It's all for nothing fights now. They're nothing. They kick them, they gouge their eyes out, they bite them. What is it called? It's, bloody hell. I know the Albanians, I think the Albanians are doing it. I'm sure the Albanians are doing it. It's like a cage fight. But the only difference between that and a cage fight, you're doing it on a concrete floor. You're fighting on a concrete floor. There's no cushions under your feet. There's a concrete floor. So when you go down, you hit the concrete floor. And I've seen some of these fights, mate, and they're unbelievable. When I see people standing up, kicking them in the head and all that. How's that allowed? I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's happening. I mean, I've seen about 5 of these fights, and it's mad. You know that will never come here, surely, will it? I don't know. I don't think the other people will allow that, mate. It's over the top. You know, they're proper people fighting like that, mate. They're all biting each other's ear holes and smashing them to pieces. You know, fighting today is different, mate. Is this unlicensed fighting today is different? Honestly, it's not. It's, as I say, the media's sport it all now. There's mobile phones and all that. It's sport it, you know. Well, there's everybody running everybody down. Everybody that don't fight, they're going to fight. They don't fight. They're getting all running people down. They're getting on the phones. They're getting on the media. Getting to YouTube. More views, more subscribers. It goes on and on and on, and it's a load of crap. You know, you see him. I've only seen this one person do it, Danny Christie. And who's the Hedger? The one who's supposed to bash all his women up and this, that and the other, but he still fights. Fair play to him, he still fights, mate. He ain't afraid. He'll fight. And he'll have a fight. He ain't afraid. You know, there ain't many out there. You've got travellers out there fighting maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? But everyone's the same. It's all for the media, mate. Every day, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. They love it. It's what it is. I'm going to do I've got my book again in a minute. I know it's long, mate. It's took a long time. There's so much content in his book. It's crazy. It's loads of content, and it gets worse because every time that you got to remember, I've done 730 videos or 750 videos. You know, when I started this book, I'd done about 200 videos. So there's another 500 videos of certain things that I forgot to tell him. So when he starts talking to me about what I've already told him, I said, but didn't I tell you that? He goes, no. So then I got to start a new story that goes in the book. So the book's crazy, man. It's mad. It's mad. You know, because my life has been absolutely bonkers. Shootings, stabbings, killings. It's mad. It's absolutely mad, you know. I can't, do you know what? I can't wait to read my own book. I'm waiting to read it, mate. I can't wait, you know, and it's just to get it. I've seen the front of the book, what it is. It's unbelievable. That alone is going to sell it. Just the front of the book. I've never seen that before, and it's the business, mate. It's proper. Really, really good. He's going to come today. He's come between 1 and 2. Be for 2 or 3 hours with him, I suppose. There's a lot we've got to talk about still. I want this book out, mate. I want it out. I want it out there talking about another 2 months, maybe another 3 months, you know. It's a long time. And then it's got to go to this, solicitors, then it's got to be audited, then it Kindles and Amazons and all. I don't know what goes on, you know, with books, yeah. But all I know is that I've done as much as I can do, yeah. And but after he comes and we talk about my book, I wind up with a really, really bad headache because I've got right into it, you know. Certain things you talk about, you know, you go into it. I've had a conversation with someone who's really, really nice lady. She's absolutely so beautiful, mate. She's so nice. And I was talking about my life, me being molested as a child and bits and pieces like that in the homes and this, that, the other, yeah. And she phoned me this morning and sent me a picture of her last night. She said, well, I haven't slept. She hadn't slept thinking about what you've gone through. And she's a consultant, yeah, thinking about all you've gone through in your life. And she said, you know, it's fantastic that anybody can go through what you've done, and still come out the other end as you are, and still can write a book. I said, you know, and she just said, I really think it's so good, you know. And anyway, so me and her are talking, you know, certain things she wants to know about me. It's nice, and she's really nice. I want, I want, I want everybody out there, like everybody out there, when they read my book, yeah, and it's kids and all that, and the other, not kids, 17, 18, 19, but you got to realise, yeah, that I've asked my probation officer and people like I've had about 20 probation officers anyway, but one of my probation officers said to me, it'd be a good thing for you to do a charity for kids, to have talks to school kids and you know, people in prisons and all that, and talk to them about your life, talk to them about it, what happens at the end. It isn't no good what you lose. You lose everything, mate. You lose your wife, your kids, your girlfriend, your mum, your dads, your brothers, your sisters. You lose it all because it's gone. There's no conversation no more. It's all gone. All you've done all your life has been in and out of prison. And then you write a book, and then maybe you get a chance of doing a series or a film or something like that. Yeah? So I explained to my probation officer, is it a good thing for me to talk to kids? Because I'm telling kids about what I've gone through, which is really, really bad, yeah? And I'm saying that I'm now changing my life around, yeah? But out of me changing my life around, I write a book, and perhaps I'm going to get a lot more out of it because people reading it and think, quite, it's unbelievable, this should be a film. Because lots of people say it should be a film. And I think to myself, I'm talking to kids and telling them about this and telling them about that. And then I say, look, I just write a book about my life, yeah? And is that glamorising? Is that glamorising my life? Do you know what I mean? Is that glamorising me as a person? Am I saying, yeah, I might have done all what I've done, but now I've got so much out of it. I'm glamorising my life, yeah? But, you know, I'm thinking to myself, well, is that it? Am I doing that? You know? Do I want kids to follow that? Do I want kids to say, yeah, what I'll do, I'm going to go out and do loads of robberies. Hopefully I don't get caught, but if I do get caught, go in prison and cause this, do that, smash up this, smash up that, cause that, cause this, get out and become a fighter, bash other people, and then I'm not going to write a book and all this, that and the other and glamorise myself and get, you know, anyway. I'm not doing it for that reason, to glamorise it. I'm doing it for that reason, to show kids life. To go the criminal way is no way to be, mate. You know, I know, you know, but on the other hand, I say to myself, could you go up at 6 o'clock in the morning and come home at 7 o'clock and have a life for your wife and your kids and have holidays 2 or 3 times a year, but not live it, not live your life? Because I see my brothers, my sisters, and friends of mine who work 6 days a week, and they've got so much pressure on their heads to this pressure about working and got their own businesses, but they're working the pressure so much and they can't cope sometimes. They got the other people to you know, they just can't cope. Could I have had that? Could I have wanted that? I don't know. You know, well, I don't know, you know what I mean? Maybe not. Maybe I would have wanted that. Maybe, was I, when I was sexually abused as a child and physically abused as a child, has it changed me into the person I am today, or was that meant to be that way? Or was I meant to be the way I am? I don't know, you know what I mean? I've never been lazy. even when I worked in a fruit market, I'd never been lazy, but even working in a fruit market, I decided to do a night job rather than do a day job, be a day porter. But I did become a day porter at the end of it. But at first, I wanted to be a night porter because I thought the night porter was a lot easier than waking up in the morning at 2 o'clock, getting to the market by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, than it would be for me to sleep and have a good day and go down the swimming pool and get dressed and go down to work and just relax. Still work hard, but I haven't got to rush around getting up in the morning, waking up and going, oh, I'm very tired and all that game, you know what I mean? So that's why I got a job as a night porter. I thought, yeah, it's a lot easier being a night porter rather than having a day job, getting up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I did do in the end, but not for very long, because I started doing robberies and all that and getting myself nicked again, yeah? So I say to myself, what would you do if you lived it again? Some people say, what would you do with your life if you lived it again? But I don't know. Because if I lived my life again, me being sexually and physically abused, would that have changed me to the person I am today? Do you know what's really, really strange there? This is the first time I've ever said this on my channel. My dad, my name's Ray Hill, yeah? But my real name is Ray Rowlings. My father married my mother, my stepfather, married my mother, but he was unable to change our names back to Hill. So it was left out as Rawlings, Rowlings, Rowlings, Ray Rowlings. Everybody knew me as Ray Rowlings, school, Rowlings. My mum met this guy, become a Hill. But my dad, my real dad, Patrick Rowlings, his dad, or his great-granddad, was a fox. Oh, sorry, he was not. Yeah, he was a fox. Yeah. So when he married, it was a fox. But when the kids didn't like the name Fox, so my granddad got married to this woman. Her name was Rowlings. In them days, you could change it. So he changed it. He was a fox, but he changed it to Rowlings. So really, my name should be Fox. Mad, isn't it? But Rowlings, yeah, Ray Rowlings. When my mum married my dad, this, that, and the other, and my sister married my brother. My brother got married to Colin Cracknell's daughter, Tracy, something like that. This guy come along, and he's now a bishop. He's now a bishop, mate. How that's crazy. He's a bishop. He's a Rowlings, yeah? He's a bishop. Mad. Right, through the family. But he was saying that all my dad's brothers, Patrick, my dad's brothers, was all gangsters. Proper gangsters. They'd done so much prison sentences. Armed robbers, crazy Rowlings, yeah? Mad, all fighters. And am I following that suit? Is it not because I was sex abused? Am I following that suit? And one of my dad's brothers was mad on black girls. Me, I'm mad on black girls. I don't go with white girls. I only go with black girls. All of my rest of my family just go with white people. I'm a black man. I'm going with black girls. So was that my destiny? Was that my destiny to follow suit with them? They was all gangsters. They've been in and out of prison all their life, all proper armed robbers, yeah? And, my Patrick, my dad, he's the only one who took off that family who was different, yeah? But he's not different because my real dad was a bastard. He was a bastard all the time. He bashed my mum up, he done this, all fighting in pubs, and this, that, and the other, yeah? That was my real dad. you know, Patrick Rawlings. So I'm a paddy, really. But my brothers, my dad's brothers, was all like gangsters, armed robbers, and one of them loved black girls like me. So I think that destiny was for me. Anyway, I just took after them. I'm the only one in the family which took that side of it. That's what I feel. I don't know, you know, and I think, and then you go and see a counsellor in Maidstone, not Maidstone, sorry, in the Mount. I go and see a counsellor. She was absolutely fantastic, mate. She managed to get things out of my head that I didn't know were even there. But when I told her about all this, she couldn't believe it. She went, wow, what? She couldn't make out. She was saying because she said that, Mr. Hill, if this hadn't happened to you as a child, being sexually abused, physically abused, I don't think that you'd have been like you are now. You'd have been like, if it hadn't happened, if it did happen, if it hadn't happened, you wouldn't be like you are now. You'd have been working 7 days a week, bringing home money, kids, houses, all like your other brothers and sisters. Because all my other brothers and sisters have all got their own places, well off, have 2 or 3 holidays a year, and that's it. That's their life. Boring, yeah? But anyway, that's their life, yeah? But I didn't know about it. I did know, but I didn't know. I didn't know it was that deep that one of my dad's brother's kids was a bishop. And he's the one that one of my sisters got into about our backgrounds, who we are or what we are, because we don't know. And when he come back with that, my sister went, right, you're the one in the family that's took after your dad's brothers. You're the one. They've all been in prison. They're all ex-armed robbers, very dangerous, violent people that all the time used to fight, and do armed robberies and hurt people. Patrick's the only one that didn't, but he still was bad in lots of other ways, yeah? So you're the one, because one of them didn't go with white women, only with black girls. Mad, isn't it? Isn't it mad? Isn't it mad? You think, God, what? Really, this was set in stone that what I was going to be like as a child. When I was in my mum's room, and my mum walked up that hill with that pram with that big lump of coal in it, right? And she was pushing it. I was in their room, and I'll come out like an animal. I'll come out of there strong as an ox. Ray Hill, not Ray Hill, say Ray Rawlings. I'll come out there as Ray Rawlings, mate. I'll come out the nutty one out of the family. Do you know what I mean? Because of that. Mad, isn't it? I know. Anyway, just a little story there. I've gone on a bit there. I shouldn't have gone on so much. But anyway, this is Ray Bang Bang Hill. Please press the like button and subscribe here. I went mad. Bye.